So we're here to do the newspapers. Koye Yankson, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I can't see the color of your socks in them. I'm trying.
But they are right in front of you.
Yeah, I know, but I can't. I won't. How was your night?
Are you okay, sir?
You know,
Everything okay? Should we call, what's the name of the head of the mental health authority?
I don't like where this is going.
Doctor.
Should we give him a call now?
Doctor say.
Yeah, he's quite a nice man.
You mean for us or for me?
For you.
This is not fair.
For ya.
Ronaldo missed a penalty yesterday. He wasn't seeing.
Yeah, it was.
So he has worse problems than you do.
Yeah, we need.
He needs the phone number.
So you know he put up a post when Modric did he score a goal?
Modric scored a goal, yes.
Okay, so after that goal, he put up a post and said, this, like a picture of him, that's my teammates. If you like my teammates, reposts.
Well,
yeah.
but that's not fair. That's not fair to the Barca fans.
So now he had to experience what it feels like.
Yes, indeed.
Charlie, they should have gone home.
No, but I think that sometimes, even though he missed a penalty, you look at the strength, the individual strength and the character of the various players in the Portuguese team carry the team through. Because sometimes you need to have a certain self-belief even when your day is going wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did he slap someone? I asked Benedict. He should have been given a red card. He should have been out of that game.
We are unreliable witnesses.
Yeah.
He should have been out of that game. I tried to watch the replay.
The thing is that
Benedict will join us.
I relied on radio. And I don't know
I
whether...
was watching, but it was flipping through because there was the Morocco. What's the other game?
Okay.
Yeah.
Morocco Spain also happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So you kind of flip through to see. But it was interesting.
In the radio
I haven't
commentary,
lived longer to witness other World Cups, but I think this is the best so far from what I've seen.
Oh, really?
Lots of goals, drama.
How the commentators,
Yes.
how they interpret or try to commentate on the slap? You said Ronaldo slap? Is that the allegation?
It was almost like a slap. Like,
You're
yeah.
raising this, you saw it?
I saw what I saw.
Like a slap.
Maybe it was just a
Was
friendly.
it when he was
wasn't
given?
friendly.
Was it when he was given a yellow card?
Yes.
Well, they didn't say that. They just said, okay.
Listen, if it was any other person, I'm thinking that would have been a red card.
Maybe it was just
but
tapping.
we'll leave that for Benedict to come and then how about tapping?
Or tapping.
Maybe it was just a violent caress.
Yeah. Chris Brown.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's do the news.
But
you know, I was saying that today is the birthday of Carrick Adom Nyamicha Kweni. You're a student at primary school, university primary school. Is that what they call it? Is that what you went to?
In Cape Coast, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So you are going to the alma mater of the great Koye Yankson. That's a good one.
Have you finished
Oh,
throwing
wait,
shade
so
at
now
me?
that you started the birthday, let me continue. We also have our own birthday, in-house birthdays.
Oh.
I want to begin. Evelyn Nanasewa Usuka, Client Service Executive. It's your birthday today.
Happy
It's almost
birthday,
like a lineup. Hannah Odami is our colleague in the newsroom. It's your birthday today as well, Hannah. And of course,
happy birthday.
Francisca Seiram Abla de Souza. It's your birthday as well.
A.K.A. Magajia.
And Eric Donko is with the sound department. He's a sound engineer. It's his birthday today as well. So
all wonderful people.
This is a tall list.
This is the one.
It's a roll call.
Ajingo.
No, Ajingo is Gregory.
Yeah, he has a nice sound.
Yeah, Greg, aka Ajingo.
Ajingo. What would you take it?
Okay, now let's do the newspapers.
Okay, so let's start with the daily.
Times? Let's start with the Times.
Okay.
You sure? All right, let's do that. And banner headline, presidential pitch program, 10 young entrepreneurs get 350,000 Ghana cedis. They're sharing it between them. The biggest winner, of course, taking home 50,000 Ghana cedis. Veep urges cost efficiency in project implementation. I'll tell you more about that later. Drivers to use electronic stickers, and that's from the insurers of our vehicles.
Is that a good thing?
So we have papers sticking out on the windscreen, is that it?
Well, it's not just because there are papers sticking out, but
Maybe readable.
Yes, the current stickers can be forged, and so most of the time the police will look at it at first glance and be like, okay, go. Meanwhile, it's a forged.
But would this even solve any problem? Because the thing is, it has to be verified,
electronically read,
aka Ghana Post. It cannot be verified electronically because the police don't have the gadget to verify them.
But do you remember?
Let's say they need an app.
Yes. You know when DVLA changed theirs?
Yes, but they don't have. They're supposed to supply every police on the road. Have you been verified before?
A policeman stopped me yesterday. It was a whole team. I was wondering what the
whole fuss was about.
Yeah.
It was your tax CDs at work.
Okay. I just stopped. And then he came. Why is your son not driving? He should be driving. And then he said, go.
Oh,
okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like that?
There you go.
Sometimes when you're a lady, you go away with someone.
Parenting has to be policed.
I have a sticker at the back of my car. It says, I don't pay bribe.
Why is it at the back?
I'm sure somebody saw it.
Why is it at the back? Put it on the front.
I didn't think about it.
Then they won't stop you anymore. Yeah, so anyway, drivers to use electronic stickers. I mean, this is the technology that exists almost everywhere else in the world. We have not come to it yet. I think it's about time. The reading of it, like you're saying, is what will make it, will give a point to what they are doing. So let's hope that the equipment is nice. But you remember John Kudalo said a couple of years ago that it's not the job of the police to check whether your car is insured.
Yeah, yes. I agree as well. I agree. But there's police MTTD. Yes. There's the motor traffic people.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not
even them,
well?
John Kudalo suggests it's not their job. I don't know why he would say that, because somebody must check it. Who would it be?
Yeah, but I kind of agree. I think the police should be concentrating on something else.
Well, that's
but they love that.
I think that's something they just invoke one of them, for
Those
example.
on the road, they love it.
When they see that your DVLA sticker is correct, then they have to invoke something. Yeah.
Fire extinguisher.
Yeah, they have to get you.
Spare tie.
So it's one of them.
Also in the Ghanaian Times, taxi crushes pregnant woman and 2 others to death. A very sad story. In fact, I just felt terrible reading it. Little detail from the presidential pitch program. The president says a total colossal amount, according to the Ghanaian Times, colossal amount of $10 million has been earmarked to support business startups by young entrepreneurs to unleash the creativity of Ghanaians. The president gives examples of Google and Facebook, small technological businesses that have grown to become mega companies, which is why I'm amused at the use of colossal in the description of $10 million when you're talking about Facebook and Google in the same speech. Okay, Veep urges cost efficiency in project implementation. This was all over the news yesterday. But basically, according to the Vice President, Ghana has been constructing 60 to 80 bed district hospitals for $25 million. Now that's a colossal amount. And the Vice President said, if the cost was compared to the 150-bed hospital built in Accra by the African Development Bank at 5.76 million Ghana cedis, or $1.3 million without equipment, the difference was stark. He goes on, he says, even if we have to equip the hospital for some $1 million, the total cost cannot get to more than $3 million. So how come we're building district hospitals for 25 million? A figure which even excludes the tax exemptions granted on equipment imported for the hospitals. Then he goes on to talk about Dangote, who built a 1,000-bed hospital for something like 20 million.
So 2 million can build a hospital?
Yes. Yes, without the equipment.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you would spend another million or so on your equipment.
How many are we spending for the NAPCO?
I don't know.
Call the boss.
Yeah. I don't know how much they're spending. But yeah, the Vice President says something is not right here. And Alex Segbefia was responding to this yesterday, suggesting that it's a comparison of apples and oranges. I don't know if apples and oranges is right. It's a comparison of hospital project and hospital project. So it's not apples and oranges. But I think what he's trying to say is that we need to see the contracts We need to see what went into
Exactly.
the contracts before we
Exactly.
determine that it was overpriced or
Yeah.
not, which I agree with. But apples and oranges, no. It's apples and apples. But the one apple is more expensive, and we need to understand why.
One thing we do know, which has been the refrain, always speculators, is the fact that contracts around Ghana, the rest of Africa are always inflated. We've not been able to verify that, but those are always things that will be up for debate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see, there's a district hospital. Okay, so if there is a cost item that accounts for the difference between 3 million and 25 million, it should be one that should easily come to mind. This is a specific hospital. It was built while, I believe it was built while Alex Egbefia was health minister. So if there was something that made it cost 25 million, I'm hoping that it's something that can be recalled.
Did the Vice
easily.
President name any of the hospitals he was talking about?
I thought he did. Did he not? No. Okay,
One
then.
of the things, one of the,
I thought
you
he
know,
referred to a particular district and said it cost 25 million. I thought so. But
you know, the previous administration, one of the things, the Mahama administration, one of the things that they had been trying to explain was the fact that there were other parts to the projects. So there's phase 2, there's phase 3, there are other things. So that could also result in why the costs may be high.
So
I think
that
it's-
would imply that the district hospital that Dr. Baumia is suggesting could have been built for 3 million.
The Rich Hospital is a classic example, the Accra Regional Hospital.
Yeah.
I'm sure the issue came up.
There
And
was
it
up
was
for
explained
debates
that,
in
and it was explained that
2016,
there are
yeah.
other phases to this. So
I get
what we
that.
see now is not the final projects. Yeah.
I get that. I suppose what that then makes me think is that if he's comparing it to the AFDB hospital that was built for so much less, then that AFDB hospital must have had no phases. It must have all been done in one
And
go.
we don't even know the details of that.
Indeed. So
we
the
haven't been
contracts
given.
are what we need to see, right? All right, let me tell you about this rather sad, heartbreaking story. A taxi cab crushed a pregnant woman and 2 others to death in Ankonsia near Bojie in the Wassa Amenfi East District of the Western Region. I hope I haven't massacred anybody's hometown name. I apologize. A pregnant woman, Olivia Okram, is 24 years old. Her mother died in the same accident, Letitia Okram, who's 49. Another gentleman, Kwame Shawe, who's only 16, are the victims. And it was all reported to the Western Regional Commander of the MTTU. Which one is it now? It's D, isn't it? MTTD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed to be D.
Yes, who confirmed the story to the Ghanaian Times. And it was a relative of the 2 ladies who reported it. But just to think, it's a little taxi, by the way, a Kia Rio, which knocked them down. And the taxi driver escaped because the onlookers were planning to lynch him. And again, this lynching mentality appears to remain. But this, look, let me tell you this quickly. Police prevent security guard and 2 musicians from being lynched. Again.
Sarkodie.
Issa Muniru is a security guard who allegedly works at Jubilee House. He was with Moses Badasu and David Metogo Melchizedek. Moses and David are musicians. Okay. They were with this security guard somewhere in East Legon looking for a place called Kiki Bees. So they were asking residents for directions. A driver saw them and decided that they are armed robbers, raised the alarm, and they were almost lynched until the police rescued them.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
A couple of interesting details here. I wonder whether the security guard from Jubilee House was armed. I wonder whether that is what made somebody think that they were armed robbers. I don't know. The story doesn't tell us this. It's something I would certainly like to ask the police and the onlookers about.
We not learned anything from the lynching of the late,
Indeed. That's what came to my mind immediately.
How do you just see someone and conclude that the person is an armed robber?
And if you do, how do you lynch them? Why is that the solution?
I think that those, when somebody raises the alarm, the people who come and want to just finish the person, can they just take their time, at least take the person to the police station?
Indeed. I don't quite understand why the desire to end a life can just rise up so quickly in Ghanaian people.
Just take the person to the police station. Just take the person.
It's scary.
I see my face, see your face. I know that we're wicked.
Oh,
I'm not example. Oh, yeah, example.
Let's move on. Let's move on real quick.
all right. But this, by the way, is the second time in 2 days that Jubilee House security have been mentioned in crime stories.
Which are the other ones?
Yesterday in the Herald, we didn't do the story, but there was a picture. They had a picture of two individuals who they say from the White House, Jubilee House security detail, who have been arrested for armed robbery. Oh. But we didn't review that story, so we don't.
Okay, let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper, because it's a paper.
The biggest daily, selling daily in Ghana.
Biggest circulation, yeah.
Okay, so front page of the Daily Graphic, entrepreneur 18 gets 75,000 Ghana cedis. She wins maiden presidential pitch, and she is, of course, smiling. I'm sure she's waking up this morning to pinch herself. Is it really real? Yes, it is. On the front page of the paper, you see President Akufo-Addo with Vanessa Aisha Liman, that's her name, the winner of the competition. Behind them, Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim Awal, the Minister of Business Development. Picture by Samuel Tay Adano. That's what's making front page.
What was her idea? Do we know?
I'll get into the details of that story. It's on page 16. But also on the front page, in terms of headlines, Agona royal family swears oath to get relatives buried. I think we've touched on this story before. The Daily Graphic brought us an earlier story about some disagreements in terms of the burial of some relatives, and they've been in the morgue for quite some time now. Government has breached Petroleum Act, according to PIAC, and VIP bemoans corruption in public procurement. Let's start off. Let's go to page 16, a bit of the story. And it says an 18-year-old female entrepreneur, Ms. Vanessa Aisha Liman, yesterday emerged the winner of the maiden presidential pitch and took home a 50,000 Ghana cedis investment package. In addition, Ms. Liman was given 25,000 Ghana cedis personal donation by the president. And when the president announced it, he didn't even give the figure, and people started making noise. Everybody was really excited. And he said this was his salary. Close to, almost. So this was personally coming from the president, who said he was touched by her prowess, yes. As a young of age, as in she's 18, and also by her presentation. So the winner who processes food, Kojo, this is your answer, processes food and packages it in Golu in the Sisala districts in the Upper West region. She beat 9 others who presented their ideas and answered questions before a panel of judges in the presence of the president, ministers of state, and members of the diplomatic corps at the presidential pitch events in Accra. So this is what she does. She processes food and packages it in Golu in the Sisala districts. I'm surprised
the president didn't announce that
West
as
region.
The beginning of one district, one factory.
No, this is presidential pitch. So the presidential pitch is a project designed and organized by the Ministry of Business Development to offer young Ghanaian entrepreneurs between the ages of 18 and 35 the opportunity to market their business ideas and get financial assistance to implement those ideas. So may they really get the actual monies that, was awarded. Amen.
Amen.
Congratulations to all the winners. Okay, so let's go to page 3. This story about governments breaching some petroleum acts. It says the Public Interest and Accountability Committee has cited the government for breaching the Petroleum Revenue Management Act in the disbursement of petroleum revenue. And according to PIAC, the government has spent more on goods and services instead of capital expenditure as required by the law. In its 2017 annual report presented at a public forum in Takoradi yesterday, PIAC said only 37% of the utilized annual budget funding amount was directed to capital expenditure, while other wrongful payments and activities were carried out against the law. I see you've done quite some reading on this.
Yes.
Yeah, in the paper.
You know, it's interesting. Steve Mantiao has identified something that's been going on for quite a long time.
And some of the things that he's been saying. it too.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. And the law is clear. You see, this is what makes me a bit concerned about who is checking our government, okay? Because it's somebody's job to do so. It's Parliament's job to do so. But they are so weak at it. So weak at it. And we rely on them. We depend on them to make these things happen. Just imagine. First of all, we haven't made that much money out of oil. 4.4 billion since we started, you know, drilling the stuff. And if you look at how the law breaks down the percentages of what goes to what, first of all, the Heritage Fund, you know, what is aimed at our future is what? 3 or 4%, 7%, I believe it is. Somewhere in the third or fourth paragraph, it tells us how much. And 30-something% is supposed to be the ABFA, okay? And the law says what ABFA must be used for.
Yeah.
70% of it must go to capital expenditure. And there's a reason for this. This is how we develop oil. This is how you can directly connect oil to development. 70% of it must go to capex. But look at what they are doing. They are taking massive percentages of it and spending it on consumables.
Goods and services.
Consumables, goods and services. They are buying consumables for hospitals, schools.
What do you expect?
What? Well, you see,
Well, what
you're
free
right.
things?
You're right, and we are doing this because we can get away with it.
So we'll get
Yeah.
free.
Absolutely.
Government has to
absolutely.
get money from somewhere.
Because at the
Even
end of
though
the
I know
day,
it's an affront to the
even
law.
when Piak does the revelation ends, where does it end up?
Indeed.
What comes out of it?
But you see, I think we need to get a bit angry about this because it is pure mismanagement.
all of us.
Oh yes, all of us. It's our
Yeah,
money.
but when we
It's our
do,
money.
Yeah,
when we
sure.
do, what
It's-
does that result in?
That's the point. If we get angry enough, things get changed. But it's when we just talk about it and we move on, that's when nothing happens. And you see, the reason why I think this is such an important, situation is because, look, this is a law that has been passed. No matter how much money we make from oil, it will never be enough anyway. Okay, so however little we have, it is imperative that we stay within the guidelines of how to use it.
Sure.
That's how we can benefit.
Yeah.
If you are given 1 CD and you abuse it, if you are given 1 billion, you will abuse it. You see, so the fact that they are abusing this should be a cause for concern.
Yeah,
and it's
absolutely.
successive governments that have done it
Yeah.
because they can get away with it. It's about time somebody said, you know what, you're breaking the law, there is a consequence, stop it.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you. All right, so that's it for the Daily Graphic. It's 4 more minutes to 7, so we have to speed up.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, on the front page of the Daily Dispatch, quickly we've looked at this story. It says, was the president's ban on foreign trips a reaction to excessive trips? And the story is on page 11. And if you read the story, there's a monetary index report and also quote from one of the shows on one of the stations in Accra. And they've been asking whether perhaps the government machinery of the presidency and the chief of staff, they were worried about the state at which government officials and appointees were traveling, as we will say in local parlance, traveling by hat. So was that something that perhaps pricked their mind, got them thinking that, look, we have to put a tab on this? Because in addition to that, we're being told that what the media circulated and published duly apparently was a leaked memo, and so it was just an internal tab that was being put on them. Please put a break on yourselves, you're traveling too much.
Indeed. Well, I spoke to Abu Jinapo yesterday about it, Samuel Abu Jinapo being the deputy chief of staff. He insisted that nobody has violated or abused the system.
Oh.
And that this ban is just to somehow regularize modalities. You know, these are political brothel. Regularize modalities so that they will have some standardized way of determining who travels and when and so forth, whether government must be represented at these events and all of that.
But then the memo should have just said, please, if you want to travel, come and inform the presidency. I think that was okay.
Yeah, but
Instead of
they
saying that was
placed
a
a ban. Exactly. So I did ask him, I said, look, why must there be a ban in order for you to regularize modalities? If everybody is doing the right thing, let them keep doing the right thing and then regularize your modalities.
Yeah.
But no.
Can they go on
Okay, Roland, real quick.
private travels then?
You still need permission. Right. Yeah.
Okay, now time is not our friend anymore.
Not at all.
All right.
The good thing is that Benedict is not here,
just
so
no, but we
Just
have
the
some
headlines.
international news to share with you. We wanted
Business
to.
and Financial Times mid-year budget must stabilize the city. GN has done some research.
We'll review it. It's stopped up.
Yes, but it will be reviewed. It will be reviewed in July.
Real quick, front page of the Finder newspaper. Relief for startups. 10 receive a total of 370 Ghana cedis. President highly optimistic about future of private sector. Also, small-scale miners. Lord plans to lift ban. Lakeside Estate wins land case against La Manche at appeals court. Dr. Baumia's hospital cost comparisons unfair, according to former health minister Alex Segbefior. And cost of government projects too expensive, according to our vice president, Dr. Baumia. That's it for what's on the front page, the Finder newspaper. Let's quickly go online. We'll look at what's making news on myjoyonline.com, and then we'll share with you some of the stories that we've picked elsewhere. That's, you know, a lot of people are talking about. There's this Kenyan priests who actually raps with his sermons is very interesting, but he's been suspended. And there's trouble brewing in Jos, where over 80 persons have so far been killed. It's a headsman, farmers kind of situation there in Jos. So myjoyonline.com first, but let's also do your messages whilst we get ready for myjoyonline.com. This one says, sometimes we need others to move forward in life, but most of the time we don't need others at all. It is all about knowing the situation and yourself. Who are you and what do you want? The two big questions. Bambaki Ahmed, you should be taking over the motivation from Roland Okojo. So this one is on football, the big game. Mamavi's Messi would be going home today. Mamavi calls this a slap. Okay, so Benedict will be here and we'll see if it's a slap or not. Messi was choking someone. Oh, Charlie. This is like Atikatika. Messi has done one thing more than Ronaldo. He retired once, and he will retire again after today. Leaders like Ronaldo don't quit. Shadow in Daboase, good morning. Well, I can't argue with you, right? So this one says, good morning to you all. Okay, and it will definitely be coming from Abdullah Abdul Razak General in Lamishugu in Tamale. He takes time to say hello to the entire crew. Thank you for the message. This one says, these political yo-yos and political yobos will definitely meander Ghana's economy there. Listen, Charlie, you're brofo. I don't even know, like you're rhyming. Say Oti, Ajumako, Kromam. Thank you very much for your message. This one says, just imagine yourself as a journalist sent to cover an event without camera, sound recorder, no pen and paper. How will you get your work done? This is exactly what National Ambulance Service is facing now. It's hard to hear or see an emergency and you can't do anything about it. EMT Gamosamo, I feel your pain. And one of our colleagues, Martha Krentolaka, did an extensive report on that. Sometimes when you even pick an emergency case and you take that patient's, they're looking for beds, so they're keeping the stretcher. How do they call it? The one in the ambulance.
It's a stretcher.
Okay, and they have to keep it. The ambulance cannot move. They are waiting for their stretcher because that patient that is sent to that hospital hasn't gotten a bed. So I feel your pain. We feel you. There are a lot of people.
And now
who
we
really
say that we
work.
love the treatment on the ground. Then.
Okay, quickly, my jawline. Quickly, myjoyonline.com.
Yeah, so let's do myjoyonline.com. And we have a couple of stories there. First says Kufado reveals 29,000 Ghana cedi monthly. I thought that was a revelation.
No, it's public knowledge.
It's public, yeah.
No, it's not a revelation.
So that's the 20. You
Wrong
remember when I
headline.
said the 25,000? He made reference to that, yeah.
I think we've known because it was upped from the previous 115. Was it 15,000 or is it 10,000?
They keep upping it. Yeah.
That's normal. Portugal survived late. Iran scared to book final 16. It's always like that, you know. And then we have some other stories. Kenya man jailed for selling cat meat for samosas. Not bad. Cat meat is a delicacy
in some
for
parts of Ghana.
He just should have just disclosed.
I don't know.
Because I've
eaten cat meat in China before.
I will do it.
Snake.
I will eat it.
You would eat a cat samosa.
Yeah,
not
just
bad.
disclose.
Or a Samiausa?
Big men behind bars, do they really enjoy some privileges?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It looks like it in the movies.
Yeah.
It is
Well,
in
no,
real
I think
life,
in reality.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe not your sleeping place, but you move around, you dress well. That's a privilege.
Sleeping place, who knows?
I've gone to Insawam and seen some big men before.
Maybe they have 5-star. Anyway.
The disaster Eastern Corridor Road and others expect before getting attention. Anyway, let's move on. We have Baumia's hospital cost comparisons unfair. Segbefia, former health minister. And we look at the last two.
Fred.
Oh, this one, your official channel. Sunrise. Sunset and sunrise SHS at the Kumasi Senior High Technical School stops was a giant slayer. And it's all coiled from what has been happening, the event and the recording of the Science and Maths quiz.
Okay.
PIAC indicts government. We've been talking about this for breaches of oil revenue management. You just have to go to the PIAC website and get their reports. The last time I was reading their half-year reports. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Well.
Okay, so that's an update. Social welfare staff indicted for allegedly stealing and selling baby. This happened in Kumasi. Full story is on myjoyonline.com.
Social welfare.
Cross over. Yeah, let's cross over to Nigeria. Let's bring you an update on this situation in the Nigeria's plateau states. At least 86 people have died in central Nigeria after violent clashes broke out between farmers and cattle herders. Police in Plateau State has said. Some reports say fighting began on Thursday when ethnic Barum farmers attacked Fulani herdsmen, killing 5 of them. So a retaliatory attack on Saturday led to more deaths. So that's one situation. Let's cross over and go to Kenya, where a rapper priest, they call him the rapper priest, a Catholic priest in Kenya, has been suspended from leading public mass for a year because he rapped during sermons. His superior has told the BBC. So we've got a video to share with you on this. Here we go.
Vijana rukaruk, swagi ya kunguru, au sio, kumekucha, amka kumekucha. My name is Father Paul. Some Christians call me Masa. Young people call me Sweet Paul because I rap sweet, I talk sweet, I dance sweet. Thank you. Chill, cool, stay safe. God bless. Na madawa nyote come church. Sambaza Yesu wholesale kwani mambo yote na uzima wa milele. Wa milele. Wabujwa hiji vinjari kwa Makenya. What motivated me to get into music is because of the tragedy we had in Nairobi when we lost a number of young people when they went to entertainment ground. So there was commotion and they trampled onto one another and a number of them lost their lives. And I said, this should not happen anymore. If young people want entertainment, they can come to church to pray, to play, and then to entertain themselves. And it's addressing issues like asking young people to come to church, asking them to shun hard drugs, asking them to plant trees, flowers, to step up forest cover, to mitigate climate change, which is one of the biggest issues in our century. The journey has been very, very difficult because many people do not understand me up to date, and even colleague priests. Some of them say that I'm watering down priesthood, I should not do this. But usually I tell them that we have the talents and we must use the talents. Amka kumekucha, shika jembe, twende job, unda dish. Sifa ndiyo hiyo na maisha ndiyo haya. Maisha ni maswiti kama supu au choma. Vijana jihadhari na maovu na manu.
I think I love it.
From Friday, I'll be rapping on the show. I'll be talking any longer. It will be all rap here on the AM show.
I hope you don't get suspended.
He's been suspended.
I guess I'm just going to sleep, you know?
That's what Christianity is in Africa. You just have to break away and form a church. People will follow you.
especially if you're rapping.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're going to end with this. You know, Saudi women are now free to drive after the ban was lifted.
Yeah. You know any Saudi
lots of
woman?
women are celebrating.
Who is now driving?
No, I don't. Some say it now they feel like a bird. People are describing the feeling differently. So we thought that, you know,
I'm happy about this. You know what? I believe in equal rights. I think all human beings have the right to be as annoyed in traffic as everyone else. So I'm very happy they will now be facing the same stress that only the men have been facing for such a long time.
Yeah.
But it seems so ludicrous that all these years, you know, women have not been
That's our
allowed
society.
to drive. Yeah.
I think we should have
Alright.
followed this with a great Arabic pop music. Amir Diab would have been nice.
Akwesi Dankwa. We're following up with Akwesi. That's not bad. Benedict.
Yes, Mama V.
Why I say?
Yeah, and also
Sabah hair.
in Iran, the ladies can now go to the stadium as well.
Oh,
you know, previously
yes.
it wasn't same.
You mean they can go to the stadium in Russia or in Iran?
No, even in Russia, they started going in Russia. So
No, I mean
over
Iran.
10
Can they go to the stadium?
No, yeah, if you're in
Yeah.
Iran and you're a lady now, you can go to the stadium and
Yeah.
watch a game.
That's
Yeah.
great change.
And I
great
think at this early stage, like the first stage of this football finals, the team that I have come to like really is Iran.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were just
I've come to
this
like Iran.
this
They're
away
that
from
close.
making
Yeah.
the
But
next
nobody
stage
will
of the
remember them in the
competition.
next World
I
Cup.
will remember them. I remember them also for something else. You know, now they're doing more of let's produce in our country and eat because of all the ban,
Yeah,
particularly
yeah. I think
from
that's a good
America.
thing.
Yeah. So I remember Iran. I love them. Benedict.
Well, yesterday was an amazing game, the Iran-Portugal game, and as you mentioned, we were just very, very close for making the next stage of the competition.
Yeah. As
just-
what
just
made
like-
us feel that way too. I don't know why.
We've been there before.
Yeah.
And also, Morocco nearly got their first 3 points of the tournament. So it was just unfortunate that they lost. But I mean, yeah, you've been watching the World Cup. What's your view on VAR?
You mean VAR?
VR, sorry.
VAR.
Did I say
VAR?
I said what VAR?
Yeah, but you remember last Friday we talked
I
about
know. You told me
it.
you have an uncle. voter
Bruce level.
No, but
I think I love it. I love it. So far, it gives the benefit of the doubt to teams or,
But I think
or
yes-
incidents, and I think that it gives a certain
Yesterday
perspective.
kind of slowed down the game a bit. It
well,
was
Mama V, it's not about slowing down the
I
game,
don't know,
but
it
it's
was-
about fair results.
Yeah.
You know? If I think
But
you would
isn't
like
that-
it if
is
it
it
goes
always
in
fair?
favor.
Is it
Yeah.
always fair?
No, it's always been
Okay, let's
fair.
look at the
Actually-
Ronaldo situation.
Yeah, in a Ronaldo situation, if I'm sure if it were
Was
to
it
be
a
any
red
other
or a
player,
yellow?
for me it was a red card. If it were to be any other player, the player would have been given a
So-
red
Thank
card.
you.
But this is Cristiano
No,
Ronaldo.
but you
the
can shake
choice
away.
of card is not down to the VAR. The VAR will simply tell you whether there
We'll
was
tell
an
you
infringement
exactly.
No,
or
yes.
not.
But that's the referee's
But,
discretion.
but this one,
So if the question is about VAR, I will say it removes doubt every time.
Yeah.
the
which
referees
is very good.
don't play fair even with that.
It's okay.
They don't.
You know,
But
sometimes you know
Mohamed,
the phrase.
I agree with you on
But-
that because
but it's
Ronaldo
okay.
Ronaldo
Benedict,
okay.
we've taken
It's okay.
5 minutes of your time. You
Yeah.
have 5 more minutes left.
Yeah, and the
Take it
referees, they took all over the match.
All right, well, and it's okay. Let's take a break and come back and do some more sports.